Hello to all my dear followers and welcome back to Secrets Behind the Stars. I'm thrilled you're here, because today's topic has the entire entertainment scene buzzing. Brace yourselves for a shocker that touches one of the most talked about power couples in Turkey right now, Barış Baktas and Yağmur Yüksel. You read the title, and yes, this is serious. We're looking at a lawsuit worth eye-watering figures and, even more spine-tingling, whispers of long-guarded secrets moving toward the spotlight. Stay with me, because every detail matters, and you'll want to catch them all. Before we dive in, a quick reminder, if you haven't already, hit subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars and turn on notifications so you never miss our exclusives, deep dives, and behind-the-scenes breakdowns. Now, let's get into it. As I mentioned, today's story centers on Barış Baktas. The charismatic leading man whose name has become synonymous with crowd-pulling dramas, high-profile endorsements, and a fiercely loyal fanbase. Alongside him is his real-life partner, the elegant and ever-composed Yağmur Yüksel, who has carved her own path in the industry and knows a thing or two about navigating the spotlight. On screen and off, together and individually, they represent ambition, elegance, and the kind of star power that turns heads. But what lies beyond the red carpet smiles and polished social media reels? What's stirring beneath the surface right now is nothing short of a storm. According to information now circulating among insiders, Barış is facing a lawsuit that is not just large, it's enormous. And it's not a simple financial quarrel. The stakes appear to include confidential information, claims that certain promises were broken, and the suggestion that private matters could be forced into public view if this fight continues. We're talking about allegations that could dent reputations, shake partnerships, and place a heavy strain on the couple's carefully balanced personal and professional lives. So what kind of secrets are we hinting at? Are we dealing with murky financial arrangements, clashes over creative ownership, or something more intimate, details no public figure would want in a courtroom file? Those are the questions swirling across phones and boardrooms alike. What we do know is this: the dispute isn't coming from a random critic. This is a formal legal action initiated by someone who has worked with Barış before, someone who understands how this industry ticks and where sensitive pressure points might be. The mere size of the claim tells us both sides believe the outcome will matter far beyond a number on a check. The legal process remains under wraps, as one would expect at this stage. Lawyers are working, documents are circulating behind closed doors, and official statements are carefully worded. Still, the headlines are unmistakable. A multi-million-dollar lawsuit is on the table, and the documents reportedly contain references to communications, agreements, and restricted details that could become public if negotiations stall. The word secrets isn't used lightly. It implies that what's at play is not only a dispute over money but a set of facts both sides consider explosive. To grasp the magnitude, let's take a step back. Barış has built a reputation for discipline and a distinctive screen presence. He is known for choosing projects that highlight emotional depth and intensity, and for a brand image that projects reliability and modern charm. In parallel, Yağmur has forged a reputation for grace under pressure, her public persona blending warmth with quiet strength. Together they've been the face of campaigns, the conversation at premieres, and a focal point for fans who love their chemistry. Any major controversy, especially one backed by legal leverage and the specter of revelation, doesn't just land in a headline, it echoes across casting rooms, board meetings, and the social feeds of millions. Up to now, official sources have kept things cautious. No detailed breakdown has emerged from either side. But leaks and murmurs sketch a complex picture. Talk of alleged breaches of contract, friction over creative or intellectual property rights, and, most intriguing of all, claims about mishandled confidential material. The implication is that someone believes sensitive information was shared, exposed, or used without proper boundaries. That's where the story sharpens at the edges, because confidential material, if it touches private life or strategic business plans, could be the kind of powder keg that changes everything. Some might say, lawsuits happen all the time in show business. And that's true. But when an adversary suggests there are hidden truths, the ground shifts. Suddenly, this isn't only about money. This becomes a chess match where each side wonders how far the other will go. Is there a threat of blackmail? A grievance over trust? Or simply a cold, calculated legal push designed to win leverage by conjuring the possibility of scandal? For a couple as visible as Barış and Yağmur, even the question can wound. We know you're asking, who is behind it? Is it a past producer? A former manager? A partner from a project where deadlines and expectations were left bruised? No one is naming names on the record, but the chatter points to a figure solidly within Barış's professional orbit, someone with contracts, emails, and schedules to point to. It's this proximity that raises the stakes. When conflicts emerge from the inside, they carry the weight of intimacy and detail that outsiders lack. And what about the couple's dynamic? Observers will remember how steadfastly Yağmur has supported Barış in the past during tight production schedules and press cycles. Sources close to the couple suggest she remains focused and supportive, advising discretion and calm while the lawyers work. But let's be frank. If personal notes, private messages, or moments meant to stay between them were dragged into a legal back and forth, the emotional toll would be heavy. Fans adore their chemistry for a reason. It feels genuine, the kind of bond that helps them weather the demands of fame. This situation tests that bond in new and public ways. There are whispers that the dispute traces back to an ambitious project. Something that promised prestige, international attention, and big commitments from multiple stakeholders. When projects like that stumble, the aftermath can be messy. Were timelines missed? Were verbal assurances treated like signatures? Did someone feel left behind when the spotlight swung toward the couple's broader brand? No one will confirm, but experienced watchers know the pattern. When expectations collide with reality, paperwork and pride meet in court. What we can say for sure is that a case of this size burns through time and energy. Even when surrounded by seasoned attorneys and public relations experts, navigating filings, hearings, and back-channel negotiations is draining. Add to that the relentless hum of social media. People are speculating, taking sides, tagging brands, and asking hard questions about integrity. And with a couple so visible, every public appearance becomes a reading of body language. Are they holding hands tighter? Are they choosing their words differently? That's how fans fill the silence when official lines say, "No comment." Inside their team, the priority will be to contain the narrative without fueling it. If confidential information truly sits at the heart of the dispute, both sides have reason to keep a lid on specifics. Yet legal battles have a rhythm of their own, and as motions are filed and responses come due, snippets can surface. A phrase in a document. A timeline implied by a meeting invite. A reference to a file or a message thread. It doesn't take much to spark another round of headlines. The couple's advisors will be preparing for every scenario, crafting statements that say enough to reassure partners while revealing nothing that could be weaponized. As for the potential fallout, there are two fronts to watch. Professionally, a serious lawsuit can make other stakeholders cautious. Not hostile, just careful. Until clarity returns, risk managers ask for extra assurances. Schedules slow. Deals wait for signatures that aren't ready to be put on the page. Personally, the danger lies in fatigue. Even the strongest relationships feel the drag of a protracted fight. Protecting boundaries, carving out quiet time, and refusing to let rumor dictate their days will be essential for Barış and Yağmur as they move forward. All this leads to a wider truth about the industry. It thrives on momentum, chemistry, and myth. But behind the myth are real people, complicated collaborations, and contracts that try to pin down the unpredictable. When a dispute escalates, it forces a reckoning. The question becomes not just who's right, but who can live with what gets revealed along the way. That is the gravity of the word secrets. It's less about a single bombshell and more about the accumulation of private facts that were never meant to be public. We will, of course, be following every turn in this story. The next significant moments will likely come in filings or negotiated statements, carefully crafted paragraphs that hint at frameworks for resolution, or else draw battle lines more clearly than before. In the meantime, the couple's supporters are rallying online, urging calm and empathy. They've watched Barış bring layered characters to life and seen Yağmur embody resilience with style. They want to believe that whatever is inside those folders can be handled without tearing down what the two have built together. To recap, here is what stands firm amid the noise. Barış Baktas is confronting a multi-million-dollar lawsuit initiated by a figure tied to his professional past, and the documents reportedly touch on confidential information that could, if exposed, affect not only business relationships but personal ones. The mere possibility places Barış and Yağmur under an intense spotlight. Their teams are tight-lipped, their fans are anxious, and the industry is watching closely to see whether this ends quietly across a conference table, or roars forward into a public spectacle. We'll keep our coverage measured and clear. When verified facts emerge, you'll hear them here first, explained without spin. Because this isn't just a headline. It's a window into how fame, trust, and ambition collide behind closed doors. And for a couple as admired as Barış and Yağmur, the outcome will shape not only upcoming roles and campaigns but the narrative that frames their love story in the public imagination. Thank you for staying with us to the end of this deep dive. Tell me what you think in the comments. Does this surprise you? Do you see a straightforward contractual clash, or do you sense deeper fractures behind the scenes? I read everything you write, and your insights always help guide our next investigations. If you found this breakdown compelling and want more exclusives like it, give this video a like, share it with your friends, and, most importantly, subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars. Turn on notifications so you never miss our latest updates. We'll be back soon with more stories, more analysis, and the truth behind the sparkle. Until then, take care and keep your eyes on the stars.